Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Fireside Chats. I'm Darcey Kesner Hawkins with the co-architects of Mingle, Regina Curtis and Monica M. Henderson. We also have two additional guests with us that we would love to learn more about. So, without further ado, and my camera angle, I only get to see the top of Regina's head, so she looks like Mr. Wilson. For those, I'm dating myself. So, what was your favorite sitcom as a teenager?
As a teenager. Favorite sitcom as a teenager.
I don't know if I watched sitcoms. I was more of a Nick at Night kind of gal. I like Ren and Stimpy. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, Nickelodeon. That's a sitcom. Well, I think when I was a teenager, wasn't it like TGIF, where it was like Family Matters and
I think so.
To rewind back to when I was a teenager, specifically.
I'm having a hard time. I worked a lot as a teenager. I played sports and was like, I don't think I did a lot of TV as a teenager. I was like not home most of the time. So I was like working or playing sports or doing music or drama. Like I did all the things at school. So I don't think I watched a lot of TV.
That low-key tracks for me too. I would be at school from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So I did a lot of syndicated sitcoms because I was watching it like after the fact, not when it was really happening, which is still true today. So back then it was Friends and Seinfeld combo, and then I Love Lucy was always a thing.
Okay. All right. Tori, did we get one from you?
No, but I agreed with everybody. But also, I think I was during the time of like the reboots for like 90210. I was in the reboot era, so I feel like I watched all those. But I was also on the Joel Team and Dance Team, so I was lucky if I got to watch TV.
Well, with my first question, I just dated myself because as a parent, I watched all these different things like Full House and all that other good, all the things that you were saying. So technically, I could probably be your mother's. So that backfired.
That's funny. I also grew up in the country, like super country, where we really didn't have a lot of choices. So like a lot of those shows you guys just talked about, I couldn't see it until way after college. Like Friends wasn't on any of the networks that I could see. We had 2 channels, 3 in the winter when there were no leaves on the trees. And we got additionally, we had ABC, PBS, and CBS. And I think it was CBS came in the winter. It was like a big deal because we could watch more shows. But yeah, it was a lot of PBS. So there was not a lot of exciting TV.
What about Heather? What about you?
I was all about the SNCC stuff, but I also, Darcey, I'm going to make you feel a little bit better here. I was also a Laverne and Shirley. I love all this old stuff. Happy
Golden
Days.
Girls. I loved Golden Girls. That was a good one.
Yeah. So.
Hands down, still the best opening theme song ever.
We're gonna sing it, aren't we? Like we're all singing it in our heads right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Welcome Back, Kotter. Happy Days.
I used to watch Happy Days.
I'll even know what Welcome Back, Kotter is.
Never heard of it.
Never heard about it till this exact moment.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but I love Happy Days. They would play Happy Days on weekend. On weekends, they would play a lot of old reruns. So Mr. Ed and the Andy Griffith Show, and there was a lot of shows that I watched that were like old. But I'm like an old soul girl, so I like all of the old television. TMC is one of my favorite movie channels. So.
Darcey's like, I want to smack you right now because you're calling them old, but I watched them the first
time. Yeah.
But even though I wasn't around when they were playing, I'm very familiar with a lot of those shows because I watched them. what is it? The Beverly Hillbillies and
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I watched those. We had those on VHS though.
So
That's hilarious. We had like the whole series.
I
did you?
watched
Another one that I used to
my
like.
grandchildren. We have a Jethro Bowl. Going back to the Beverly Hillbillies, we have a Jethro Bowl.
Yeah,
It's funny.
I even
So,
watched.
on that
Gidget.
go on, I'm sorry.
I said I even watched Gidget. Do you remember Gidget?
Oh
Like
yeah.
Sally, like Sally. Yes, I was like, I love old shows actually.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a lot of those in my era. So, without saying what year you were born, can you share something of historical significance
God.
in the decade that you were born in?
Oh,
Oh.
Neon? No. Well, it was kind of.
historical.
Historical significance. I mean, that is historical significance for this decade.
I mean, if you can Google it, then I would say it's historical.
Right, the ozone created by Aquanet probably happened in the decade that I was the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we
that
go.
probably
Snap bracelets and those iridescent like track jackets. Yeah.
Yep. All those.
In the decade I was born.
The year I was born, the year that
I think
Ghost
we would consider this like historic. I think the Thriller album came out in the decade I was born, and that was like historic, right? Isn't that like the #1 CD or album?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah, all my
pretty-
stuff is music based that I was thinking. Originally, I was like Cyndi Lauper, like Madonna. Like I mean, they kind of span a lot of decades, but they were like the prime time.
Yeah, I would say probably so historically. I think that's when the fall of the USSR happened.
Yes.
That did happen. Yes,
Yeah.
I remember watching the wall come down in that decade. Same decade, later in the decade that I was born. But
yeah.
What about you, Darcey?
I'm freaking old. That's what that means.
You are vintage.
Yeah.
And they sent a man to the moon. So
Okay, so you're otherworldly. Like that beats out all the Why are you getting twisted over there? I'm like, that's the coolest thing out of all the things we said.
There were no cell phones.
There weren't any cell phones.
There were no cell phones.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think until later.
Yeah,
and if they were cell phones, they were I remember my dad having a car phone, and it was giant, and it had this huge antenna on the top of his truck. But that was even later. I don't think that was still in the same decade I was born, or very late in that decade.
I'm pretty sure my mom bought a used Volvo station wagon that came with with the car phone on the inside of it that wasn't connected to anything, and she thought she was so cool. She was like, "Oh, I'm fancy. I got a car phone." Like it was a whole thing. It was like
That's hilarious. Meanwhile, I had a car that still had an 8-track player in it, so there's that.
That was
Other side of the spectrum. That's funny.
All right. So, without telling us what your passion is, what you do for a living, can you describe your ideal client?
Ideal client.
Empaths and highly sensitive people.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Say that again.
Empaths and highly sensitive people are my ideal client.
Okay.
I would say people that are ready to change.
Love
Story. I second that one.
Yeah, I was like thinking about that too. I think my ideal client is like someone who is up for a great adventure.
Ooh, very interesting.
Doreen, man first walked on the moon the year I was born too. Well, on the year she was born, not just the decade. There you go. Welcome, Doreen.
Also, she said she loves The Cosby Show, Family Size. Oh, The Cosby Show was good, and Different World. I'm here for that.
Oh, I
in
love the
life.
Facts of Life. Oh my
Life,
god.
that as well. A whole different other genre. There's like so many. There's so many shows. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so many shows for real.
All right, Heather. What about you?
I answered first. Empaths and highly sensitive people.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
We're just trying
There's
to buy
so much chatter going on. You're like, wait, I forgot.
I forgot.
Darcey?
Midlife Awakeners.
Mm.
I'm actually just stalling. So, Tori, how about you?
She already answered too. You seconded it.
No, I'm stalling.
If you're ready for change, let's talk.
Yeah.
If you're ready for change, let's talk. If your
Okay.
animal is ready for change, let's talk.
I think mine is people who are highly functional and can't function.
Ooh.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
They just like keep it all together. And then you take the mask off and it's like all the Wookiee comes out.
Yup.
All the Wookiee.
Wookiee.
I just heard the noise. I was like, I really wish I could make that noise because I just heard it like the Wookiee noise.
Again, my era. So Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Spaceballs.
Not a
But,
choice.
like Star Trek doesn't have Yoda. Like, come on.
I mean,
It has tribbles though.
I didn't even know. I'm gonna have to look that up later. I'm gonna have to Google that.
so when we were young, when I was like in probably before junior high, we only had one TV in the house. And so we had to take turns watching TV. And my brother,
With like 4 brothers.
yeah, I have like a lot of brothers. And so my brother Dante was like the one who was like into Star Trek, and me and my other brother was into like sports, like basketball and things of that sort. And then I was into like, all kinds of other random things. And so we would like roll our eyes backwards in our head when he would turn on Star Trek because we're like, oh, like because it was neither of our choice, and he was so that and National Geographic. Now, later in life, I came to enjoy these a bit more, but when I was younger, they were not in the wheelhouse of interest that I had. So it was just so annoying that like we would have to watch some crickets on like grass because my brother was fascinated with the like nature channel at that point.
I would choose that channel over both of those options, actually. I'd rather watch crickets on grass. Yeah, not interested. But I did enjoy Spaceballs. So I feel like that's the midpoint between those two.
Right on, right on. Okay, so we went kind of movies. Star Trek eventually became a movie. So let's move to books. All right. So authors, Stephen King or Nora Roberts?
Oh,
Stephen King.
Neither.
Stephen King, all day.
I've never read either of those, but I am more romance than horror because I feel like horror is like more like real life stuff that we deal with. And so I'm going to go with Nora Roberts because I'll take a romance any day.
I actually like to watch my books. I don't prefer to read them. And I would probably choose a Stephen King movie before I would choose a Nora Roberts movie. Although I would be down to watch either of them.
Okay.
I mean, clearly you have not been off campus. Like, y'all need to go see that if you haven't.
I'm not down with anything horror because I can tap into enough crazy ass shit in my head and just in the world around us. So definitely not Stephen King, but I'm not interested in Nora Roberts at all. So because I only read nonfiction and I'm a total dork like that. So I don't know. I'm not doing very well. I feel like I'm losing this game.
It's not a game. No one's keeping
Your alternative.
I am off to the side, but we'll talk about that later. So,
Okay.
do y'all know who J.D. Roberts is? Or no, J.D. Robb.
Mm-mm.
Why does that name sound familiar?
That is Nora Roberts' pen name or alias as she writes detective stories.
Oh,
There's still romance in it, but not in your face romance.
got it.
So you might want to look at some of her, that series. So
I love that Dorian's like playing along.
So the other thing about
What did she
Stephen
say?
King movies, I know people don't like scary things, but I don't find the movies that Stephen King do as like horror as much as they are suspense, and like
Absolutely not.
more thriller. So like they have a bit of they're like a thinker's horror as opposed to like a slasher horror, if that makes sense.
Like psychological?
Like psychological, yeah.
Possibly
Like
worse.
yeah.
Right.
Also, fun fact, I sat next to Stephen King at a college basketball game one time.
Oh,
I was like, that guy looks familiar. Who is he?
Saturday-ish. Like, that would be
Funny, both. But recently I read an amazing trilogy by Nora Roberts. Doreen is reading Nora Roberts as we speak.
very cool.
Doreen,
So-
you want to switch places? I feel like you're better at this game.
So we're going to follow that kind of thought, because one of the things I wanted to do when I was a kid was be a writer. So what did you want to do when you were a kid? What was your ideal occupation?
Entrepreneur. I always have known I wanted to run my own business. As a kid, though, I would have just said that I wanted to be in charge. I was going to be the boss. So I kind of checked that box, though. So yeah, I won that question. Yay!
Yeah, it's a known fact that I wanted to be an international businesswoman when I was a little kid. So
Also check.
Yeah. So check and check.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was little, I always said that I was going to change the world one day. And when I was little, I wanted to be an actress. I am not an actress. Unless you want to get really philosophical about it. But yeah, I did take theater classes in college, and they asked me if I wanted to change my major, and I was like, no, I'm good with my psychology background. I'm more fascinated with film. So I gave it a little shot, and it was fun. I liked it, but I know a lot better.
Yeah, but actively changing the world.
Well, I mean,
Still doing it, just not as an actress.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Acting and psychology aren't that far apart, in that in order to be good at the character, you have to understand the person through and through to be able to embody that. So I would say check and check.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
What about you, Tori?
I also wanted to be an actress, specifically like Julia Roberts. I freaking love her. I still love her.
Wanted to be Julia Roberts.
It was like, so movies growing up that I watched were Dirty Dancing and Pretty Woman, and like, probably
I loved those movies too.
Like, in real life, you know, the Pretty Woman version of Julia Roberts, but you know, girl didn't really realize what the heck was going on, but I loved it. I mean, she got all those.
How many movies did you watch as an adult that you watched during that that decade of movies, and then watch it again and go, I didn't realize that was what was happening in this movie.
I mean, speaking of Dirty Dancing, I watched Dirty Dancing a bunch of times and didn't realize it was a movie about abortion.
No, yeah, I was like,
no clue.
Oh, it's a love story. It's about dancing. It's like, yeah. Watch that one again years later, and I was like, oh, this is very different through the lens of an adult's eyes.
So I watched, and I know you guys don't really seem to be on the horror side of things, but I watched Toxic Avenger, which I watched when I was a little kid. And there's like, in the beginning scenes, like they're running kids over with their car, and like there's so much violence. And I was like, how did my mom let me watch this when I was like 8? I don't understand. It's awful. Yeah, the 80s were a different time, man. Different time.
Yeah. Well, I do feel like that's where, like, we were feral kids, like, for sure. And I feel like now we're all like feral women in our midlife, and it's fantastic, and I love it.
One of my kids was born in 82, the other in 84. So guess what we watched?
I don't even know I guess we were watching cartoons.
Always
Little House on the Prairie. I loved that show as a little kid.
I drew the line at letting my kids watch the Saw movies and like the Hostel movies.
Oh, you get to watch Nightmare on Elm Street, because that still haunts me to this day.
No, didn't let them watch that either, because that was a possibility to me.
That was
my ability and what I can hear. It's like someone can suck me into the dream world and no one will ever find me again. So yeah.
I don't know what that movie was about, but it was being watched. Like all my siblings and my parents loved watching horror, and I was always the sensitive one. So they would put me in the basement while they watched the movies. It was it's just like there were bedrooms and stuff down there, but it was dark and scary. And like, so I would sit with my back against the door, so I heard all the movies and my imagination just went wild. The only one I watched was Chucky. And then after, and I didn't want to watch it, but my uncle was visiting and he's like, it'll put hair on your chest, which I still don't understand why I would have been like, that was inspirational. And afterward, I went and took all my dolls and took off their heads and took out their stuffing to make sure that they didn't have a heart or brain, because I was so terrified. And that was the last horror movie I watched.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like 5 or something. It was like young.
Birds and there was a movie called Dolls and a movie called Birds. So the Alfred Hitchcock one, like I still look at Blackbirds to this day, like, I don't know, guys. When they're like too many, when there's more than one, I'm like, hey, watch it. But the movie Dolls, was like about this house that had a bunch of porcelain dolls that came to life. And yeah, that one.
I'll mess you up.
Yeah, to this day, porcelain dolls are like not a thing for me. Like it's like, yeah, no, we won't be doing that. Thanks.
So going on another direction, as a kid, what was your, if you went trick-or-treating, what was your most favorite Halloween costume?
Goodness.
I was a gypsy all the time. Like I always wanted to be a gypsy. And I think it was because I like all I knew about even the concept of being a gypsy was like traveling, which pretty much speaks to
I was like that
my soul. And also like it was like layers of fun pattern clothing that I would wear all the time, and that also still tracks with how I dress. So I feel like that's correct.
I dressed up like a witch a lot, which was on par for me because I've been practicing earth magic since I was super young. But I do remember, and I'll share a semi-embarrassing story here. I do remember when I was young, I think I was in, I don't know, I think I just started middle school, but I dressed up like my dad for Halloween. He and I were really close, and he was a construction worker. So I got like, and again, this is like the late 80s. So I had the shirt with the cigarettes rolled up in the sleeve. I had a heart I drew a mustache on. Like it was cute, but yeah, that's the one that stands out to me the most. But I think most of the years I was just a witch.
That was my second favorite costume.
Yeah,
witch.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to trick or treat, so the only time that we got to get dressed up was for Hallelujah Fest instead. So I was a myriad of Bible characters. Me and my brother sometimes would do family Bible character outfits as well. So I wouldn't have chose any of those for myself, but my mom was like, "This is the Bible story we're doing, so this is the Bible story."
Well, of your Bible characters, which was your favorite to dress up as?
The one that is like the funniest was I don't know if anybody knows the story of like Samson and Delilah, but like Samson was this strong guy and his power was in his hair, and then Delilah was the woman who took him down by cutting his hair. And so that one was funny because she like put like stockings on my brother's arms to like make them, this is the 80s, so they didn't have the like muscle suits yet. So like the stockings to make him like muscular, and we both were like wearing like these toga little outfits. And I had like a lock of hair, and like she just got some like weave hair and like put that in my hand. And then like my brother had she like glued or like clipped on to the back of his head like some hair, but like walked it off from there. So like the whole thing was the thing. So that one was weird, but also kind of like cool. Yes.
It was creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like Eve once. That was kind of cool because she just like took a sheet and then she like put leaves all over the sheet and was like, like sewed leaves onto the sheet. And then we were like coming out of the garden or something. I don't know. I was Jesus once. Yeah. I've been a lot of characters.
That's so funny. Doreen says, one year Colleen and I were conjoined twins and she got so mad at me. That would be a sucky Halloween costume. I have to say, if you conjoined.
Did you each have the bag for candy though? Or did you have to
I'd have their own bag.
I feel like the worst costume, my brother was a mummy one year and my mom just wrapped him in toilet paper. But we, like I said, we lived in the country, so we had to actually get in and out of the car to go trick-or-treating because you couldn't walk from house to house. You had to drive. It was like miles between houses. And so every time he'd get in and out of the car, the toilet paper would just like get stuck in the car. And so by the time we were done trick-or-treating, he had like just squares of paper on him, and there was just toilet paper all over the whole town. We like toilet papered the town. It was a creative idea at first, but didn't work out so well. Tori, did you say what yours was?
No, I didn't. I don't know that I really had a favorite. I know. So we used to have a toy Yorkie that looked like Toto from The Wizard of Oz. So I was like the Wicked Witch one year, I think, with all like the green on my face. I think maybe I was a penguin. I don't know. Halloween is like really not my like thing, even though now I'm like really like people are like, Tori, you're like such a witch, but you like hide it. So, and it's like this really potent time of year.
But are you a good witch or a bad witch?
I like to think I'm a good witch. But on the day, and if I'm helping the person vanquish something, or so that would be like the good. But if I'm vanquishing something, they would say I'm a bad witch.
There you go. Exactly right. It depends on who you're asking. Love it.
All in perspective.
Yeah. What about you, Darcey?
I didn't have a favorite costume because, mind you, this is the 60s. And I didn't really want my mom to dress me because I was afraid. So we always got.
Did you dress up with your kids?
I'm sorry?
Did you dress up with your kids?
No, because that
in the 80s.
So I didn't, but I made their costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but one year I was what was she? She was the fairy godmother to Cinderella.
Mm-hmm.
So I was her, and my sister was a gypsy, and we all had the face masks. And I wanted her face mask, and I wore my outfit, so I ran off with it down the street. I remember.
Oh, that's funny.
We were odd children. So if you had the choice of dressing up today, not for Halloween, but for like cosplay, what would you dress up as?
Yes.
Fairy. I'm a fairy.
It's like all the things. Because I didn't get to do Halloween when I was a kid, I feel like I made up for it once I became a mom. So we did family costumes for years with my daughter. And so one time she was Princess Leia and my husband was a Jedi and I was Princess Amidala, and I like made that entire costume. It's floating around the internet somewhere. I'll show it to you guys shortly. But Aubriana was a flapper, and we were a 1920s couple when she was like really little. She was a wood nymph. We've been like basically any excuse to wear a costume, I'm in.
Very cool.
It's fun. By the way, prepare. I'm 45 now. You got 5 years to prepare for my Jam and the Holograms birthday party when I turn 50. Everybody must wear,
by the way,
glam rock and neon. Like we're going full crazy. You won't even be let in the door if you're wearing regular clothes. Like you need to look a 90s, like early 90s, late 80s glam rock punk star. Otherwise you won't be able to be in. I'm here for a costume all day every day.
Right on.
I'm here for a costume too. I love getting dressed up. I don't do it as much anymore, but I used to do a lot of like costume parties and things like that. So yeah, if I'm gonna wear a costume, I'm like gonna go all in. Like it's not gonna be half-assed.
Mhm.
Yeah, I go all out for Halloween. So this is the year that I was Leatherface.
Oh my god.
Oh, very cool.
Big.
And
Wait, put it back. I'm gonna make you big so we can all see it bigger. Oh yeah.
the last Halloween, oh no, I'm not gonna show you that one. And then I was Art the Clown.
Oh my.
Oh
So
wow.
I love Halloween. I go all out. That's my jam. I'm all about the horror. And even though I work with dead people, even though I've lived in a haunted house, even though I've helped dark spirits cross over, and I'm a psychology major, maybe that's my downfall right there. But I love the horror. I am a lot more sensitive to it now. I don't watch it as much, but I still enjoy it because I think because I'm so fascinated with the brain and why people do the things they do. Same thing with true crime. So it's like, I think it's more of the fascination of why this is happening. And you were talking about Nightmare on Elm Street earlier. That one always hit home because I had very vivid, wild dreams. And I'm like, yeah, this one's a little close to home, but I still watch it.
Yeah.
I had a lot of vivid, wild, very violent dreams as a kid. I think that's why. Maybe it was because I was listening to all those horror films while my family was watching them. But yeah, so it's just never appealed to me. But I am fascinated with the brain, but not for that purpose. My sister is really fascinated with that. Like she's also like super fascinated with anything that has to do with murder and aliens, and anything supernatural. Like her favorite show is that Scully and Mulder X-Files.
Mm-hmm.
And like I never, and from the time she was a kid, and we shared a room at one point, but yeah, I just have never been, that's like never been my jam. I'm like nerdy about the brain, but she loves like that, like the human, like why do people do what they do kind of thing. It's interesting.
Yeah, I love that too, but I watch it. I get it through the lens of builders, and cult leaders and
Yeah, the
dictators.
cult leaders, you and I have that. Like I'll watch about that, like that kind of like, it's not the violent, it's not the like the physical violence, but the like the genius business brains, and then also like cult leaders. Like I love like seeing that dynamic of like where's the line between these two things. Like there's a line between like somewhere where it's like it crosses that line, and either like I always say is like somebody's gonna die or go to jail. Like where is that line?
Yeah, and then like I'll cross over a little bit with you, Heather, on this. I like serial killer documentaries as well, because that also is fascinating.
Like if you look at Jeffrey Dahmer, for example, like well, I won't use that because I knew the answer to that question, but like some of the people who just do these off the wall like wild things, what happened to you to make you go from point A to point Z where you're like, oh, I was abused as a kid and now I'm going to go wear women's clothing and tie people up and kill them. Like, how did you get to that point? Where was the escalation? So that's what's fascinating to me. Not the actual violence, but how they got there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
would say like when I was learning, like getting certified for astrology, we would look at some of those charts to see the markers. And like those areas, like what was going on in that area of the zodiac or those nakshatras or lunar mansions, because that would give us a lot of information.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's fascinating to see like, oh, sorry, Darcey, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was asking if there was any common denominators between the ones you studied, Tori.
Yeah, so there could be like where the moon was or like where Mercury was in the chart. There's like certain like there was a moon that was in Scorpio, for example, so it doesn't like have that support, or like a moon that like the moon typically likes to have friends around it, like other planets around it. So if the moon was like by itself, or if there was like Pluto around the moon. So there were like a lot of it had to do with the moon actually. But there could be other markers as well, but that's just kind of what's coming up. Because also, like, thinking about like how trauma affects people, and like the moon can be seen as like the mother, like the mother's lineage. So depending on where it was and like what happened and like those early childhood development, like how that could affect someone.
It's also interesting that there's a lot of dictators and like people who have gotten into that cult mentality who were born on eclipses.
Yeah, eclipse energy. I mean, you don't know what you're gonna get for sure.
Yeah.
Crap.
It's fascinating because like the environment in which something is, and then there's like, I'm always curious of like, what was the choice point, right? Like where like it went down this path instead of that. And like usually there's multiple choices or multiple points, but there's like that like one apex, like you come to this point and it's like you're choosing something, and both potentials are there, or all potentials are there, but it's like there's this environment plus this choice was made. Or this.
Yeah, it's nature. There's like nature, nurture, and choice that are all three are actually playing together in those, right? It's like, I mean, if you think about it, we all have like something natural that like we're naturally inclined to, and then we all have our environments that are nurturing us. But those two, no one can blame the. I mean, if we're honest, you can't really just blame. Oh, well, it's my nature, and then I was nurtured, because you still have choice, right? And so then it's like, when the nature and the nurture make it so that that's the only choice.
Right. Yeah.
Like that perspective that feels like it's the only choice.
Yeah. And just like expanding. So we talk about there being a higher and lower expression of all planets. So like even someone could be born on the exact same day as like some of these people, and they chose the higher expression. They chose for like that spiritual enlightenment and soul evolution and consciousness, while the other was like, well, I'm going to take the lower expression, and that's how it came out, right?
Yeah. And then that dips into like sociology, and like there's just it's fascinating.
It's a nerdy.
It is a nerdy rabbit hole. I think this is why like I don't necessarily watch it in like movies and that like fantastical like creation of it, but I will read all about the human brain and psychology and neuroscience, and like I think I go that nerdy lens with it rather than the like the story, the seeing the story of it, like experiencing the story of it. I'm like, I want to know why. I'm definitely a why person.
You definitely are.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads a segue into Mingle. So can you expand on the why, the what, the who, the when, the how, and the where?
Can you be more specific? Because it's a lot of answer that question.
No. For how you and Monica initially approach the different things that are offered within Mingle.
Well, I can say that I definitely approach most things starting with why, and when is my other question. So the charting your course system is very much a why and a when. So why do you do the things you do, and when is the best time to do them? Or when are you doing things, and why is that the case? So it really like that's my power pair of questions. Obviously, all of them play a part in it. But when you look at the difference between how I approach things, how you, Darcey, approach things, how Monica approaches things, mine almost always starts with a why. And somewhere in there, when is tied into it. Monica is more of a who and a what questioner. And so how this plays out is not just in like how we show up and how we facilitate and how we actually exist in our own creative expression of things, but it is how people work with us or why they come to us for different things. Because Monica and I have very different expressions of the same information. Like we have a lot of overlap in what we do, the realms in which we play, the tools in which we use. But if you want to really explore why, and when, you're going to come to me. If you really want to explore who or what, like if you want a quick, I need to know what to do, don't come to me. I'm going to tell you all about why you should do it. And think that I'm answering what to do, but it's not going to actually tell you what to do. I'm just going to give you a bunch of questions.
Yeah, it was one of the things that made our relationship really powerful, because early on we figured out that the reason why she never really asked why is because that's the part that she knows, right? Like not why, but like what, like she knows what, but she's curious about why, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the curiosity coming from why is kind of what it's forward facing, because there's a knowing of like what, right? And so
Why I think I'm answering what, but you don't hear what.
You don't hear what, you hear all the whys, right? And then on the reverse side, I understand why, like I always say, why doesn't matter. Like it should be a shirt. Why doesn't matter for me? Like in a lot of cases, especially because when people are in crisis, and they're coming to me, they want an answer right now, and their why this is not the time to reveal all the reasons why, right? I always say, don't ask why unless you really want to know the answer, and the universe will keep telling you over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you get it. I don't want to ask why because I actually don't want to feel. I don't want to keep hearing that same lesson, right? But also, I know why. The part of our superpowers is that we can see those parts, right? Like I can see why clearly, very clearly. As a matter of fact, I see why before other people see why in their own life. And so my answer almost always is going to come from like, who do you need to show up as in this moment? Like, what is this moment asking you to show up as? And what do you need to do as in that role as that person that you need to show up in, right? And it always goes back to both of our things are really about intention, and kind of like locking into like the purpose behind what it is that you're trying to achieve. We just get there from different angles.
Completely opposite directions. But all part of the same thread. Like it's interesting. And then Darcey, your specialty is how and where.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about that?
Well, I'm still uncovering that through y'all's insight. You correct me either with a kick in the butt or an explanation of why. So
depends on who's talking to you.
Well, that's the truth, is that the where is where is this applicable? Where is this applicable, and how is someone going to be able to journey through it? And so those are the things that I bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when collaborating, right? Because Mingle Learning Collaborative is just that, it's a collaborative, right? And we collaborate on a lot of projects. We are all still independent entrepreneurs with our own businesses. None of us technically have a business where we are together in, but we work together as a collective to kind of like support each other as team. And I think when people are thinking about collaboration, the curiosity should be, what are the two questions that I come to the table with that I'm curious about all the time, right? Because once we figured that out, when Regina and I figured that out, it made our collaboration go way faster, because then I didn't have to worry about trying to figure out the why, because she was going to have the why, and she didn't have to figure out the what. I have the what. So when we were collaborating on the project, it was like she brought her puzzle pieces together, I brought my puzzle pieces together, and then we would be collaborating on something or someone, right? So in this case, Darcey is the person that we're collaborating on for this podcast, and also for a part of our speaker journey when people come to be speakers on the next global virtual conference. And so every time she would come with hey guys, I see a hole, it would always be the how, and it would always be the where. Where are we supposed to find this information?
How do we do this? How do we get from here to here? Like almost every one of your questions is, how do we get either myself or someone else or this process or any situation? How do we get from here to here? And it's like, well, your questions are how and where. very clear that that's what it is. And no matter how you ask it, like you're always, you identify the holes or the gaps for us, which is wonderful, because then Monica's like, I know exactly what to put in there. And I'm like, and I know why we're doing it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So it really works out that way. I mean, in collaboration, right, that is honestly the thing that I think people are always like, stay in your lane, right? And it's really hard to define what your lane is when you're in collaboration with other people.
And it's not limiting. But it's like, a lot of times people are like, oh, well, like for just this conversation, I could be like, well, Heather's lane is horror and psychology. And Tori's lane is astrology, or crystals, or like we could assign these things. But if you actually like make it broader so that you really understand like the bigger space, or like the piece of the puzzle that you are bringing, it makes it actually a lot easier, because then any of the tools that you have, any of the knowledge and the skills that you have, if you're bringing it in through that touch point, then it's going to be more applicable for everyone else. So I'm curious, Heather and Tori, what questions do you bring to the table? Which ones are the strongest for you?
Why and how?
Why and how?
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a good combo. Love it.
I think it depends. I don't know. I flow with the energy. So it really depends. But I always ask people at the beginning of a session, like, what's your intention? So I guess we start with what.
I would say that's actually why. Yeah. What's your intention is why.
Oh, okay.
But it's a what why. I say that all the time.
Yeah. So it might actually be what and why together, right?
Yeah. And then from there, it could be a where. Like if we're doing an embodied approach, it's like, where does that live in the body? If it's like situational, like who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. I feel like I'm just flowing with where I need to be.
Yeah. I would be curious for you to kind of like track it for a couple of weeks to see if there's like a more prompt, like if one shows up prominently, because the truth of the matter is we're all answering all of the questions.
And I ask those same kind of questions to people too, right? Where do you feel that in your body? But the reason I ask, where do you feel that in your body, is so that I can understand why it's there, right? Like, so it's, just a curiosity.
Well, maybe I'm a why and a how, because it's all about the why. And then at the end, I start channeling insights. And this is like, okay, well, if you really want to get from point A to point B, this is how you're going to do it.
What's the first thing you would do if you were going to plan a trip somewhere? What's the first question you'd ask?
Where do you want to go?
Okay. And what would determine where you go?
Oh, who are you going with?
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think you're probably more like me than you think.
Yeah.
You're probably a what?
That is, that's fascinating. Because mine would be like, well, what do I want to experience while I'm there?
Yeah.
Who goes with me is important, but it's like, I wouldn't base where I want to go based on who's coming with me. I'd be like, I want to go here. Who wants to come?
Oh, so that totally changes it. Or like, what am I going to eat? Like, I'm very food based. So I'm like, what food are we going to have?
Yeah. That's a what question. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What and who actually came through really strongly in that. What and who.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a fun exploration.
Yeah, it is a fun exploration. But like honestly, like that, I think that probably is a better marker of figuring out what your lane is when it comes to collaboration. Of like, what questions do I always look for when I'm trying to like make something better? Because what happens is everyone's looking at the same product, but if everyone comes to that same product or that same project with different questions to be answered, it actually allows everybody to contribute a thought-provoking experience, creating a learner-leader
Yeah.
experience as well, right? So like as we explore the answer to your questions, we all get better in that process. And it's kind of one of the reasons why we can model really good collaboration, but why actually Mingle works really well is because we're all looking at the same project, but we're all like able to kind of come from the questions that we need to have answered about that thing as the collaborative part of building that thing
So
together.
often people come to collaborations trying to give the tools they have first, and it just ends up being like a junk pile of tools, right? It's like a junk drawer. Everybody's like throwing their tools in, and it's like, whoa, we don't even know why we're using these tools, what we're supposed to use them for, who brought what. Like it just becomes this chaos. But if you come in knowing like, okay, I've got all these tools at my disposal, but I know that the lens I'm bringing to this collaboration is like, for me, it's always like, okay, why are we doing this? What's the bigger picture? How are we expanding beyond this experience, right? Like, what are we all bringing to it, but how do we keep it going from there? Then I know to watch for the time when it's appropriate for me to bring a tool into that experience. Because I could just walk in the room and be like, I have all these tools, right? Like so many
people do.
So many tools. So many tools.
Wait, I have a question though. Wait, because I'm thinking I'm not an expert in human design, but I'm just thinking from like a human design perspective, like the 5 different types, like what would be either like their 2 questions, you know, or
like is there an association like I'm a 2-4 generator, and does that mean that all 2-4 generators are like why when? Is that kind of what you're thinking? Like is there an association with that?
Just like, okay, like I'm a projector, so like, okay, our projectors,
you're
I do
you're a what who
okay, well, we figured it out.
I'm a 5-1, and a 5-1 is an investigator. That's the why. And it's also the leader, like to take charge, and that's the how. Like, how are we going to solve this problem? How are we going to get there? So that does make sense, actually.
I'm a 6 too, but yeah, I'm just thinking like, well, maybe that would categorize it, and it would be easier.
I mean, I know a fair amount about human design. I wouldn't necessarily call myself an expert in it, but I would say that there's going to be a correlation. So any system or tool of introspection, there's going to be some like layers that are gonna actually align. And I think there are some intersections. It's actually really funny that I'm having some deja vu while I'm talking about this, because at one point I had in my journey of like putting things together, I was like, it would be really cool if we could find that exact thing for like all the layers, like all the tools of introspection and all the archetypes. Could we like lay them on top of each other and find that like through line where they all like where it all comes together? And the thing is, I think that is the system that I created, because the through line is you, right? And so wherever all those markers are that are within you, that you are the through line. So I feel like there is, if you're looking at it from like an external standpoint, you can find like there's going to be some synchronicities there, but I'm a 2-4 and Heather's a 5-1, right? And there are some points like we're both a Y person. So I don't know. I feel like it has there's some curiosity there, and there's definitely some synchronicity, but there's also probably some room for wiggle room. It's a great question though. I love it.
Yes, actually, it's one of those like rabbit hole questions that
this is the kind of stuff we nerd out on at 5 o'clock in the morning. So
A projector that's supposed to guide people down rabbit hole.
There you go. So you're fulfilling that.
So y'all went human design, and here I'm going off Stephen King, and I hear what is the through line, and what do I get? So for those who know, The Dark Tower is the through line, and one of us is the gunslinger. So for those who have read that story,
You're speaking foreign language to me, but
but,
fascinating.
well, yes. And so it's like, so we are the Dark Tower, and how does that apply as we're looking at the different dimensions? The different dimensions that we occupy right here, currently. And then what about our former selves? Right?
Yeah.
So we could really go off in a tangent, but we have 5 minutes left. So we may have to take this up again.
Not today.
I know you know what we can do. We can take this conveation to Mingle.
Oh, that's
chat
right. Because
now.
we're going to roll over to Mingle chat in the, well, I may not be there because I have to make my computer work. But yeah. So within the last 5 minutes, can you tell me what has been the most intriguing thing about Mingle for y'all so far? And we're going to start with Heather and Tori first, because you and Monica, Regina have lived here. So
Yes.
I love the fact that you keep the rooms open all the time so that anybody who wants to collaborate on something at any point has that opportunity, because so many of the networking events and groups that I belong to and collaborative spaces that I'm already a part of, it's very scheduled, and it's very like, granted, you have to make sure everybody that's involved is there at the same time. But beyond that, having a space to go at any time when you're ready to collaborate has been different. And I really like that. I haven't utilized it yet, but I think the fact that it's available is awesome. I think that's wonderful.
Yay.
Cool.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed that part. It was the labor of love part of the creation of this space. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
That perspective.
Very cool.
I would say community. And I think kind of bringing back that human connection, even though that can be done in person or virtually. And obviously we're all virtual, but it's bringing together like-minded people and a safe space.
Yeah. Although I'll be both Regina and I will be sitting up there with Darcey in 2 days.
Virtually or in person.
Yeah, it's both. It's both, and
It is.
yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm really proud that that piece of it has grown more. It was kind of an intention for me when I was doing it by myself, and I think Regina was kind of like in the same pathway. And then when we kind of collided, it became a race of how many people we can squeeze in person, and who can squeeze more people in person.
I don't even know. I have stopped counting, but
yeah, we stopped counting. But we squeezed a lot of people in person in that community. The like real person part of community is the thing that we're one of the things we're most proud of. So I'm glad that is a piece that you enjoy. Same.
I feel like it's the piece where, I mean, we always say that we do things inside out, backwards, and upside down, and I still stand by that. But the number of times that I hear people say, like, I want to like build community and use that word community, and then what I see so much of is just these like online, like these virtual chat rooms. Essentially, they're not like live happening there, and I think there's like a beautiful piece of being able to communicate with each other asynchronously, so that we're not like having to be tied to the technology all the time. We can come and go and answer when it's correct to answer for us, and contribute when it's correct to contribute. And then we expanded that into the Zoom room. So like coming into that virtual office space, it's the same thing, right? Like Heather, you were saying, you can come in when it's correct for you to come in. And while we don't have a huge international population at the moment, we have at times had multiple kind of like smaller communities growing. And I think that soon we're going to hit that point where it's going to start expanding out in that way again. we had for a while quite a few people actually in Australia and South Africa. And so we would have this faction of people that would come in and then like middle of the night here in the States. And I know this because we had our, you know, Monica and I were running the bots that kept the office open, and I'd come in, you know, late at night and I'd just see people in there like hanging out, co-working. And it was just so cool to be able to I could pop in and be like, hey, how's it going? So it's just, it's fun to hear you say that that's something that is interesting and exciting for you too.
Yeah, and we have actually met a few of our members all over the world as well, right? One of the past members, Tori, we did a long stint in Greece, and then we had lunch with her right after she moved. Yeah, and so like I got hosted and facilitated when I was in Scotland, and then dropped down and stayed at a friend's house in England from some of our past members of Mingle. So it becomes like this global family, and they're like, you're coming, you're staying with me, I'm taking you around, you know, like they're like, you have family everywhere you go as a Mingle person, which is the part that, like, you know, when people are like, oh, you run an online community, okay, great. It's like, no, you don't understand. Like, we are like a tribe. Yeah. We're a tribe of people. And even when I met with Denise for the first time, we decided we were going to go to Maui for 10 days. That was like our coffee date was like Maui for 10 days. And then I went up to Vancouver for 24 hours just to celebrate her birthday with her because the tickets were $80 round trip. And I was like, well, looks like I could come and visit you, right? So like that like concept of it like being truly hybrid, right? Like it's really a hybrid community, and you can do it virtually, and then when there's something happening and close enough to you, you can do it in person. And we're hoping to do more in-person things. So hopefully we'll be there in Texas with you soon, Tori. And I forget where you are, Heather. What part of the world are you in?
Yeah.
Washington.
Okay.
Oh, well,
I know. Well, like, well, you're going to be so close. You should just come. How close are you? I know Washington's a big state, but
where are you guys going to be at?
Puyallup.
Oh, Puyallup.
I will have to look and see how far away that is from me because I've only been here for a year. I don't know where anything is, but I'm right outside of Spokane. So I'm on the west.
It's a hot minute from your place to out here.
It's a little bit of a schlep.
So maybe next.
All right.
Maybe we could meet halfway on Sunday or something. We
have a couple.
We've got some time to make this work.
Okay.
We'll talk. Okay. Wrap us up, Darcey, because otherwise we're going to keep chatting.
Well, it was great visiting with everybody. Really enjoyed it. And we will be back in 2 weeks on some day in July. I don't know what the date is. But we'll be back in July. I believe it's July 9th. No, that's not right. That's the conference.
That is the conference.
7th, July 7th.
That's a Thursday, so it'd be a couple days before.
7th.
All right, excellent. Well, see you someday in July.